Hey and welcome to Veckans Band in Sweden. And who are you?
I am Jeremy Bluteau, also known as JB, from the band Solstice Rider.
Yeah. How was the band formed?
Oh, yeah. So Solstice Rider is actually an experience that evolved over time. So I started doing music and writing music when I was 16 years old. So it's, a little bit over 10 years ago. I was writing power metal, and I was writing metal that was inspired off of a lot of European bands and a couple American bands as well. And, I evolved as a songwriter over the years, and eventually my tastes began evolving some. I really like the extreme vocals and the extreme sounds of melodic death metal. I love the epic, majestic sounds of power metal. And actually, I don't even technically like to categorize, but I pull from all various other metal genres as well. But I would definitely say that Solstice Rider was kind of like a natural evolution of the things I was writing many years ago. And as far as actually forming Solstice Rider in its current incarnation, it was just as spontaneous as deciding one day, hey, you know what, I'm going to make this band. I'm going to call it Solstice Rider. We're going to do this stuff, and I'm going to write some music and get some people involved in the project, and have it evolve in there.
Yeah. So that's how the band formed.
Yeah.
So how did you come up with the name?
Solstice Rider, as far as the name goes, started initially as just a really cool sounding name, but I retroactively thought about it some, and I thought, well, there's actually some really cool meaning to unpack in the name. As you know, we have a summer solstice, we have a winter solstice, and whenever the solstice happens, it's when the sun's the highest point in the sky. Hold on. It's when the day is the longest for the summer solstice, and then when the day is shortest for the winter solstice. So to me, that signified a big change because, once the solstice happened, everything started going back the other direction, right? So if it was the summer solstice, that signaled that now we're moving back into the cold season. And if it was the winter solstice, it would signal we're moving back into the warm season. And so solstice to me means a big change.
Okay.
And then rider just sounds really cool because we're all riders of the solstice. We're riders of the big change.
Yeah. And that's just a great idea. So, how many albums have you released?
Oh, that's a great question. So far, we've released one EP, and that was the Star of the North EP. And right now, we're looking at releasing a full-length album in autumn. And I would definitely call 2021 a very productive year because we released a 5-song EP, and we'll be releasing an 11-song full-length album within a span of a few months of each other, from the first release to the second release.
Okay, so 11 songs on your new album. So
yeah, 11 songs, very diverse, lots of different key changes, lots of different atmospheres, from very heavy to very light and ethereal. It's pretty exciting. Writing is a very natural thing for me because I've been doing it for so long. So a lot of these songs came very naturally. What's really funny about Star of the North is a lot of those songs were actually just songs I've been sitting on for a while. Like, for example, Game of Life, I wrote that in 2017. Yeah. But all the songs for the upcoming album, I wrote them all in the last few months.
Okay. So who made the song in this album? Or you whole the band made it, or just you?
I write and compose everything. I write all the melodies and the songs and the arrangements, and I do all the lyrics and vocal melodies. and I present them to my band, and we work together, and we bring out some amazing stuff.
Okay. So, how long have you been active in your music and your band?
That's a great question. So Solstice Rider it's complicated. I guess you could say the idea and the vision of it began 4 years ago. But as far as being an active band, meaning we actually took time to release content, that's only been happening since 2020. So a little bit over a year, with 2021 really being the big pickup. Like in 2020, I released Game of Life, and that's one of the songs off of the Star of the North EP. I released that doing all the instruments and all the vocals, guitar, bass, keyboards, drums, vocals, all of it.
You play everything.
2021, huh?
Oh, you play everything.
I played everything.
Okay.
And then in 2021, it occurred to me that idea doesn't scale very well. Doing everything, some people can do that, I guess, if they've got the time or the talent. In my case, I do technology and programming from 9 to 5. So I just, ending my day job and then after 5 p.m. just working for hours on music. It just wasn't really a great long-term strategy. So in 2021, I got a lot of help, and that's why in 2021, we were able to release an EP in, I guess it was June, and we'll be releasing more content in the October-November timeframe. So you can see the importance of scaling out. And so, I could say that Solstice has been active since 2020, but I think 2021, this year, this is when things are really starting to take off.
So when will the next gig coming up?
The next what?
The next concert.
The next concept.
Yeah.
So you mean like when's the next album? Are you asking more about the album that we're about to release, or beyond that?
I mean, when will you go out for play our concert for the people, and the people can come and look on you?
When will we be playing live? Okay, yeah. I think that's what you're hearing. What you're saying, and I'm hearing. So live, we'll be looking at playing live hopefully in 2022. Okay. This is an international effort. Chris is from the UK. Jean is from Portugal. We all we have an international thing going on, and so I'm looking to play live when the band that I've been working with for so long, when we can all kind of come together and agree on what that looks like. It might be a few select shows, in Europe and the United States. Who knows? At this point in this climate, we don't I don't think anyone really knows what the live landscape is going to look like. But I can give you a better idea of the studio and the release landscape, and that's going to be consistent. We're releasing an album this year, but we're looking at releasing a lot of content in 2022 as well. That new music, and I haven't really come forward on the band's official Facebook yet, but I like to throw out, we're also writing a tribute song for Alexei from Children of Bodom, who had just passed at the end of last year, early this year. So we have a lot of stuff we're going to be doing. In the live landscape, it really depends on what the world climate is like.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry for your loss.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're all feeling the loss for Alexei Liho, right? He great influential guitar player, influences my guitar playing, my keyboard playing. I'm not recording guitars for the upcoming Solstice album because I wanted to focus on doing keys and allow my great guitar player friend, Jean, to do that. And, he's way better than me. I might write songs on the guitar. That might be like my composition process. But as far as the actual performance goes, I'll leave it up to him. But as a guitar player myself, Alexi was very, very influential to my playing. So,
okay.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace. So, where do you see your band in 5 years?
Let's see. So, I'm really bad at predicting the future. I am like notoriously bad at it. Like whenever I feel like I can predict anything, I am horribly wrong. But I'm going to make an attempt. I think 5 years from now, I'll be at a place where I can reliably work on Solstice Rider full time. Mm-hmm. Our fan base will have grown exponentially by then, and I can focus on just writing and recording and producing more content for people to enjoy, so that their lives can be happier. My life especially can be happier, because I can focus on my art. So what does that look like as far as fans or releases or sales or whatever? No idea. Mm-hmm. I don't even want to try to put a number on it. But will I get to a place where I can work on Solstice full time within 5 years? I think that's a very doable thing.
Okay. So what makes you stand different from the other band?
What makes me different? What makes Solstice different? I think that I try to focus on building atmospheres more than anything. I think that I don't really try to compare myself to other bands, only because everyone has a different reason they write songs and everyone has a different way of writing. But here's what I will say. What I think I enjoy about Solstice, as not only a composer but a listener of the music, is I think that Solstice is about whenever something is heavy, it's meant to convey an atmosphere of heavy. And when something is ethereal and light sounding, it's meant to convey the same atmosphere. Mm. So I try to focus on provoking emotional experiences more than anything. If the song provokes an emotional experience in me, that to me means it's a good song, if that makes sense. So for an example, if I write a Solstice song and I think to myself, that sounds really cool, that's fine. But what I really look forward to more than anything is I write a song for Solstice and I go, oh, that made me feel happy, or oh, that made me feel melancholic. So I think that's what I try to focus on for Solstice, and I try not to think about where that is compared to other bands. I don't try to think to myself like, here's Solstice, here's this band, and compare the two together. I just try to focus on doing what I love, which is writing metal that provokes emotional experiences.
Okay, so where are the last album record or single?
Where was it recorded?
Yeah.
So the EP,
yeah,
which was released, it was recorded in the United States, and it was recorded in the UK, and it was recorded in Portugal. I think it was France, though that might not have actually happened. I have to ask. I'm pretty sure it was recorded in Nevada, now that I think about it. Anyway, so the point is it was recorded all around the world, and it was mixed and mastered in Sweden, which
Sweden.
Lovely Sweden. Sweden. By the way, I went there in 2017, and Sweden is a wonderful country. My wife fell in love with it so much that she wanted to sell her house and buy a place outside Stockholm. So, looking forward to eventually returning to Sweden.
Have you been in Sweden a lot of time, or just?
I went to Sweden so my wife was my then fiance, and we sort of went on tour of all of Scandinavia. So we went to Denmark, we went to Sweden, we went to Norway, we went to Finland. But we stayed a majority of the time with our friends in Sweden, and then we stayed for a short period of time with our friends in Norway as well. So we went one time a few years back, and we wanted to go again very soon. We were going to go to Tuska in Finland in 2020, and then obviously various world events took place. So we still have like our Tuska tickets that are just kind of hanging around, and we're looking forward to making a return to Finland, Sweden, Scandinavia very soon.
Ah, great. So that was my last question. So, do you want to say anything to everyone want to see this movie?
I just want everyone, whoever sees this, just continue being yourself. That's it. One of my favorite quotes from the movie Braveheart, when the Scottish were in front of the English army, and they were about to go to war, and negotiations were failing. They asked William Wallace, like, "What do we do now?" And he was just like, "Just be yourselves." Yeah. And I think that if you do that, a lot of things in life will go very well for you. So that's my message to everyone who watches yourself.
Great.
Okay, sounds good. Take care, everybody. Thank you for having me on. This is Jeremy Bluteau, also known as JB, signing off.